Alright guys, so for this video, we have a raptor involved and some dogs. I only picked out one dog, but there's multiple. So this is actually the first page of my comic called Shadows. As you can see, we have a sketch here. My chicken scratch is what I call it, because that's what it is. So we have this, and then here's the starting point for the sketch. So this one's actually a little bit different than my other stories. And this is actually story number 3. So it's like it has some same elements, like there are like the elements in there, and like in a way there's mutations. So but I have you have like good and bad magic. There's hunters, which some of the main characters are hunters. And then you have, the myths and the legendary creatures. So for this is actually they're actually chasing a werewolf. Like, okay, straight up, don't know how accurate I'm gonna be with this, to be honest. I might take some creative liberty and just kind of just do whatever I want to do. It's most likely what's gonna happen. But what's going on is that they're kind of chasing him, so eventually, as I do more, we'll figure out more. But my main character, she is a shadow witch. So, but she also has this book called Shadows. So essentially, the book can't like, because she has a knife that came with it, or a dagger, I should say, is a dagger, um, that comes with it. So what she did, so when she, kills the creature, essentially its information goes into the book. So the book updates. So it's like as they go on, the creatures become more powerful. So there's like different, there's different species, but there's different like subspecies. So like I put in London, okay, again, I didn't look at any photos of London. Okay, I just did whatever I wanted, like based off of like movies I've seen and stuff, okay? Just again, creative liberty. I'm doing whatever I want to do. So, but this is actually a werewolf from Australia. I know, again, it's just subspecies, so they're mixing, which isn't normal. So they're chasing it because obviously it's a danger, so they're good magic. So they're trying to kill it. So she has 2 dire wolves, which one is actually the biggest dire wolf, and then she has another one that they found, and then they also have a hunter's bird, because the hunters, like, they're almost phoenix like. So they carry birds around to kind of use it for like, scoping out things or just kind of flying above, being an eye in the sky type of thing is what they're for. So she found it when he was a baby. So as you can see here, what I'm drawing is I'm actually drawing a raptor. That is actually her. So the shadow magic users, the shadow witches and wizards, warlocks, whatever, they can use the shadows, they control the shadows, they can walk through shadows, to like shadow travel or whatever, but they can also shapeshift. Because if you think about it, like that's what shadows do is that, they hide things, they're shifting all the time, they don't ever stay the same. So it's like that concept. But there's also elemental magic, which obviously she has. And there's also like controlling magic. And they have direwolves as well. So the gray direwolves go with the elements and the brown goes with the control. So you have black, brown, and gray. So obviously they're not, one color because I wouldn't fit in with what I do. So originally the wolves were actually just going to be a pure black. But then I was like, well, that doesn't make sense because if I do, 3 colors for each, I gotta have, all of them 3 colors. So I changed up the design a tiny bit. I added colors in. So it's a little, but it's also colors that go inside with her. So it's not super different. But that's kind of where we're at. That's like the baseline. So they kind of like travel the world and whatnot to go find this, to go find the creatures and fight them. They have like missions that they're sent on and like all this kind of stuff. So I think if I can do it right and when I get going, I think it'll actually be kind of cool. That's kind of how I feel with like all my stories. It's just I have to kind of get there. But it's going to take some time. But for coloring, so what I wanted to do was something I've not done before, which was have it at night. But not only that, it's also raining, which we'll cover later on, and you'll see it kind of worked and it didn't at the same time, but that's all right. So I actually picked darker colors for what I would normally do with like I had like the shading was like ground blues and purples. Because I think in most comics they have it where it's like all black for nighttime, but I'm like I didn't necessarily want to do that. Plus they're in the city, so there's still lights around them. So and then they got the moon. And the werewolf is not like a little like human turning into a werewolf. Like it's just a straight up like werewolf kind of thing. Because the way my stories are, like I have the animals that they can talk and stuff. So yes, these animals they talk as well. Um, so I was trying to keep it dark, which overall, like I think marker wise, I'm actually pretty happy with. I thought the marker turned out pretty nice. The colored pencil helped a little bit, but even with this lighting, because it's originally it was supposed to be like a clock tower, but I just decided to turn it into like a window. So they're coming out. So of course there's gonna be yellow on there with the lighting was the intention. So this is like one of the times I'm actually kind of like really think about the way the shading goes. Obviously it's not perfect, but I tried. It was also kind of boring and repetitive to color the same thing 4 times. That's why I don't really keep my people in the same place for long, or if I do, that's relatively easy to deal with. But so yeah, so you got the werewolf coming out first, and then you got all three of the animals popping out afterwards. They're just chasing him, is what they're doing, and then she'll come in a little later. So this panel right below the one I'm currently coloring before it stops, um, again, it's just shadow travel. So the big dire wolf, the male, his name is Arlith. So I have Arlith, Arlathia, and Aerith, obviously. What else would I do? Aerith is a name y'all haven't actually met with yet, but because Arlith is my Dragon Rider's main dragon. If you haven't seen that comic page, feel free. And also, but their first up character sheet or drawing of them is also on here as well. So I have him going, but the dire wolf I have Arlith, I have going through the wall to kind of come out ahead, which you'll see here in a second. Because I was just trying to like already show that aspect of it with him moving between the shadows because it kind of makes sense. So as you can see here, now we have him a little up closer with both of them. So of course for Australia, again, just let me be creativity authority. I just kind of made him like brown, orange, and yellow, kind of almost like the Australian landscape type of thing. But it's also he's got deadly patterns like how something poisonous would. That was my intention was to make him poisonous, because I know but I guess I should have made it. Fuck, I messed up the colors. He should have been made purple. Damn it, I didn't think about that. I was thinking about the color wise, kind of match with the landscape. But I guess in a way, I guess they're not really poisonous then. So some of them can be, but it's kind of like he's very like spiky and stuff, is what it would be. It's just because it's raining, so you can't really tell that much. But then there's our list. So I gave him black, blue, and the dark green. So our Lathia will have black, dark green, and light green, and an Aerith will be dark green, light green, and blue. So I just change up the colors a little bit in all of them. But there we go. So that was kind of the intention. But so yeah, so obviously I did that to match up with my main character because it kind of makes sense. Like you'll see my other stories too. I do the same thing. Um, just because I'm like I can and I want to, and it just kind of works out color wise. So I'm not having to do a whole bunch. To me, it makes sense, but it's just what it is. I can do whatever I want. But yeah, so Arthur came out in front of him, so now he's kind of stopped. So again, with the shading, I was trying to think about it because if I have essentially like lighting and the moon behind him, then I kind of need to like do shading that way, which in a way I kind of did. So it kind of works. Like it turned out pretty okay. So I didn't really do like a lot of like fur pattern because it's raining. I didn't really think it made a whole lot of sense to do that, so I did not. Um, but even when I go back with details, I try to kind of give it like a wet sheen. Again, this is the first time I'm doing something like this, especially with like rain. So I have to like figure out how to do it. I'll show you how I did it in a few minutes, but there's probably a better way. It's just kind of what I thought about the time because it's like I have gel pens, but because I use pencil, they get clogged. So like I can't use gel pens. It just does not work for me in the way I do things. So so they are a little bit lighter looking, but also kind of like taking into account there is lights around them and the moon. So I'm like, I guess I can get away with it. But I didn't think about the black like outlines until afterwards, like the shading, and I was like, oh, I'm like, I probably should have done that. but I did not because we're gonna be special and we're gonna be different and we're gonna do whatever the hell we want to. So this is what we did. But with the black, I use straight black. Do I care? No. If you couldn't use black, then why is it made? Let's just put it that way. I did a purple and then I have a gray in there just to kind of help add in some different colors. I put the gray in there to kind of transition between the black and the purple. So it actually kind of helps. It like for me it works. Like I think it looks okay. For what I need it does just fine. But I did do some white as well. Again, just for the highlight things I like to do and then trying to get a little bit of sheen in there. I'm just like, because I know that when the fur's wet, there has to be some sheen. So I'm like, how can I do this properly? I didn't know. Um, but with the yellow for the werewolf, I was trying to do like brown and gold just for darker colors. It still turned out way too light. So I was like, okay. And like I think I put a gray in there, like a French gray. So obviously it turned out way too light. So I'm like, okay, so next time I probably just need to add in like more of the gray on top or something to kind of counteract that. Even the orange turned out a little too light. And I was like, damn it. So I'll just have to, whatever my darker color is, I'll have to just use that one quite a bit next time to try and darken it up some. But again, I'm also like, okay, well, if there's like lights around them, then it kind of makes sense for there to be some lights, for it to be like a little bit light around them, not completely, just some, just to kind of help counteract that and make a little more sense. But I did not. I'm probably making up excuses at this point to make sense for what I've done because it's not right. But again, I'm trying to figure it out as I go. So overall, it turned out pretty fine. But again, this is well, actually, my writer's comic is also a nighttime scene. Technically, they're just in a building at the moment. I haven't gotten to the second page yet where they're actually outside. So, but it won't be raining. But it'll be interesting. I think once I get going on like all these, it'll make a lot more sense. It's just because it's the beginning, so it's probably like, But if you want to stick around and find out more and like how I develop these and where it goes, please stay so you can kind of see. Because I have 3 more stories I still have to start, which crew is what I call it will be next. So that one is also going to be a little bit different than the other ones. Because in Riders and Arlathia, it's, mutations, it's animals, that kind of thing with the elements. This one, there's not really any mutations except for if you count my shadow characters when they're mutating, transforming different animals, like how I have here. So there's that. But for the most part, it doesn't really have mutations. There's some elements in here, because yes, she is an elemental as well. But crew is gonna be a little different. That'll be in the next coming weeks. I think next 3 weeks. I think so I have to do their character sheet, another drawing. Yeah, it's about 3 weeks. Well, plus I'm also in the process of the painting. It's gonna be It's gonna be a little while, but I'm trying to get through these as fast as I can. It just takes me a bit. But yeah, so he turned out way lighter than he should have. So I think next time I might just go in with like a straight like dark gray and just go over it with the whole gray. Probably just so it's not, because I don't want it like super dark. I don't know. I know it probably should be, but like I just don't want to do that. Maybe if they were like more in the countryside, I probably would. But because they're in the city, I'm like there's a little more lights. Okay, so here's how I did the rain, as you can see. Yes, you can make fun. Again, first time, because I had paint, so I was like, okay, well I have like the Craft Smart, which is really light paint, and it's really cheap. So I'm like, okay, well I could get that and get like a smaller type of brush. I guess I should have picked out a smaller brush. So I'm putting the dots there because I know in like comics, if you look like when they do rain, they have like little splooshes going off to show it's hitting stuff. But yeah, so this is all I did was I started at the bottom and just dragged it upwards just to kind of give the idea of rain. And some of them are dark, like more opaque than others, which I think is fine because it kind of gives a little bit dimension, so it's not all, just one type. And I did the white again for a little more sheen. So like it kind of worked. It's probably a little messy. Again, there's probably another better way to do this, but I don't have control with the paint as much yet. And again, I can't use pens because it's too much. But here we go. Yeah, so far not too bad. we're gonna have to work out the color situation for sure. But I think once I get going more with it, it'll get better. It's just because this is the first time, so I'm having to try and figure this out as much as possible. But it'll be alright. I'll get there eventually. But this is just the beginning. So please stick around again if you want to read more and learn more. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!